inhale through the nose so your brain cells get more oxygen. When you give the body full nutrition, it can prevent Alzheimer's. And what they're showing now is another contributing to Alzheimer's is lack of B vitamins. What's also important for the B vitamins to function is minerals. And you get your minerals in your dark green leafy vegetables and also your Celtic salt.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Barbara O'Neill, and today we're going to discuss something that's on many people's minds, especially as we age, how to prevent Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's is a devastating condition that affects millions, but the good news is there are steps you can take to reduce your risk and support your brain health. Studies show that lifestyle factors like diet, exercise, and mental stimulation can have a significant impact on keeping your brain sharp. In fact, research indicates that up to 40% of Alzheimer's cases could be prevented with simple changes in how we live our lives. In this video, we'll explore what the science says about Alzheimer's prevention and the practical things you can do to protect your brain for years to come. As a thank you for joining me today, we're giving away 100 free copies of my best-selling book to subscribers. So if you haven't yet, hit subscribe, like this video, and comment why you want to win.
That when someone has Alzheimer's, the part of the brain that is directly affected is the prefrontal cortex. And because the intellect and reason and judgment are gone, the decisions are terrible. In fact, I have people come to me saying, I woke up in the middle of the night, my wife was gone, I went outside, I saw her walking down the main road with no clothes on. Another man said, I woke up, my wife wasn't there, she's in the next door's yard taking their clothes off the clothesline and putting them on. And strange things, their reason, their intellect and their judgment is not working. So the million-dollar question is why? Because Proverbs 26 verse 2 states that the curse causeless shall not come. It's Old English. It basically means no problem, no depression, no Alzheimer's, no dementia happens without a cause. There is always a cause. And in the little book, The Ministry of Healing, I love that formula. She says in the case of sickness, the cause should be ascertained. This is on the second page in the chapter, The Physician, the Educator. Cause should be ascertained. So how do you ascertain the cause? There's one way to ascertain the cause, and that is the history. The history. And we are what we are because of our history. So you have a clear look at the exposure to chemicals. So we're going to flip backwards and forwards here. So we'll look at the Sustain Me principles, because the Sustain Me principles directly affect the functioning of the brain. The brain and the eyes are connected. In fact, the eyes are an extension of our brain. And this is where sunshine is very important to the brain. It needs sunshine. The brain needs sunshine, and it gets it through the eyes. Water. Our brain is a hydroelectric system. Sleep. We're going to have a look at 9:30 tomorrow morning, all the processes that happen while we sleep, but we'll touch on it tonight in its relation to Alzheimer's. Trust in God, anxiety, depression, which is really a lack of trust in God, can all contribute. Abstain. There are many things that are damaging the nerve cells in the area of chemicals, environmental poisons, especially mercury, moles, all having an effect to interfere with brain function. Inhale. We looked at the importance of inhaling through our nose. Nose purifies the air, humidifies the air, warms the air. Mouth does not do that. When we breathe through our nose, we're getting more oxygen in the brain. Nutrition. Our brain needs peak nutrition because We need to supply the building materials of the brain. We need to supply the building materials of the neurotransmitters. We need to supply the fats that keep the cells supple and protect the myelin sheath, as we touched on in our last lecture. Moderation in all the good things. Some things can be great, but if you overdo them, they can be harmful.
It's essential to recognise that Alzheimer's disease doesn't just happen overnight. It is often the result of years of poor lifestyle choices and environmental exposures that gradually affect brain health. One of the most significant contributors to cognitive decline is a lack of physical activity. Exercise has been shown to increase blood flow to the brain, improve the function of brain cells, and promote the growth of new neural connections. When we remain inactive, the brain becomes less efficient at maintaining its connections, leading to the slow degeneration of cognitive abilities over time. In addition to physical activity, mental stimulation plays a crucial role in preserving brain health. Engaging in activities that challenge the mind, such as reading, puzzles, and learning new skills, can help strengthen cognitive abilities and delay the onset of dementia. Social interaction is equally important. People who maintain strong social connections tend to have a lower risk of developing Alzheimer's, as meaningful interactions and emotional support stimulate the brain and help to keep it sharp. Sleep, too, is a critical factor. While we sleep, the brain undergoes processes that clear out toxins and waste products such as beta amyloid, which is closely linked to Alzheimer's. Poor sleep or sleep disorders, like sleep apnea, can interrupt these restorative processes, leading to a build-up of these harmful substances in the brain. It's crucial to get enough high-quality sleep each night to help the brain repair itself and maintain optimal function. Nutrition, as mentioned earlier, is another fundamental pillar. The brain thrives on a diet rich in antioxidants, healthy fats, and essential vitamins and minerals. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish, walnuts, and flax seeds, are particularly beneficial for brain health. Berries, leafy greens, and other nutrient-dense foods provide the antioxidants necessary to combat oxidative stress, a major contributor to brain aging and degeneration.
Remember that when oxygen is present in the nerve cell, it's going to give us 36 units of energy. But when someone's breathing in mould from a mouldy house, there's not much oxygen there. And that top pathway that has no oxygen, that only gives 2 units of energy. Our brain needs oxygen. Maybe the person is living underneath the electrical towers. And those electrical towers, there's 500 times the electromagnetic field that's usually on the planet. That's how much it's increased under the electrical towers. It used to be that houses weren't allowed to be built under those electrical towers. But if you noticed, in some housing estates, they're there. And they're the cheapest house on the estate. Another one I have found is when there's been landfill and there's been a lot of chemicals dumped, and then housing estates are built. And then you'll find that in every house there's sicknesses. Some houses, Alzheimer's, some houses, depression, some houses, cancer, some houses, what they call autoimmune diseases. Somehow, you see, arthritis, people react in different ways. That's why you can never be absolute on the cause. There are some common causes, but there are also differences in every case. Unhealthful conditions changed, wrong habits corrected. How do you know what the wrong habits are? You go through those laws of health. Are you drinking adequate water? Are you getting sunshine every day? Are you going to bed early? What sort of food are you eating? So that's how you ascertain whether habits need to be changed. And then nature is to be assisted. And we're going to have a look at this bit. And we're going to have a look at what can be taken to assist in the treatment of Alzheimer's and also the prevention. So you always look at the history. Symptoms are your body saying, excuse me, there's a problem and I need you to do something. And as you try simple natural treatments, your body will say, I like it, or your body will say, no, that's not doing much. So you adjust, and how you know how to adjust is you watch your body's response. And this is how we can be our own doctors. Yes, you might go to a specialist or a doctor or a naturopath or a functional doctor or a nutritionist or a herbalist and get their advice, but what do you do with that advice? You try it. You take it or leave it. And if it doesn't work, what's your body saying to you? We need to try something else. Because there's no one like you. That's why you're the doctor.
So it's important to remember that your body is unique. The way it responds to treatments, whether they're natural or medical, can vary from person to person. What works for one person might not work for another, and that's why being in tune with your body is crucial. By paying close attention to your physical and emotional responses, you become your own best advocate in the journey to better health. When it comes to Alzheimer's or any other health condition, it's not just about managing symptoms, it's about understanding the root causes and addressing them holistically. That's where lifestyle changes come in. Things like proper diet, exercise, and mental stimulation can have a profound impact on brain health. It's not just about treating the disease, it's about promoting overall well-being and maintaining a lifestyle that supports cognitive function. Research shows that certain nutrients, such as omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and vitamins like B12, can support brain health. In addition, regular physical activity has been proven to reduce the risk of Alzheimer's and improve cognitive function. These are simple yet powerful interventions that can be incorporated into daily life. You don't have to wait for a diagnosis to start making changes. Equally important is the emotional and mental health aspect. Stress, depression, and isolation are risk factors for cognitive decline. That's why it's essential to create a lifestyle that includes social interaction, stress management, and mental exercises to keep the brain active and engaged. Finding joy in everyday activities, maintaining a sense of purpose, and practicing mindfulness can all contribute to maintaining mental sharpness.
But what I think is really alarming is the amount of people who are coming down with dementia. And we come into this area here, abstain, who are on the cholesterol-lowering medication. Because the side effect of cholesterol-lowering medication, we'll just call them the cholesterol meds, the side effect is Alzheimer's and dementia. How many in aged care facilities are showing Alzheimer's and dementia who are on the cholesterol-lowering medications? And as I showed you, when we looked at the heart, cholesterol is not the cause of heart disease. The cause of heart disease is damage to the arterial walls. And because the damage is happening to the arterial walls, the liver releases cholesterol to actually patch up the holes. So to say that cholesterol causes heart disease is like saying the fire trucks are causing the fire. Now, what we should be asking, if there is cholesterol buildup, why? Why is the body doing that? Because it doesn't do it for no reason. And so to come in with cholesterol-lowering medications actually is not helping the problem, because our body needs cholesterol. And one of the reasons our body needs cholesterol is that this little fatty sheath around the nerve cell is predominantly cholesterol. You see, cholesterol plays a protective role. And that's why I mentioned earlier, if someone's on a fat-free diet, they've got mercury fillings in their mouth, they're having the flu injection every year which has mercury in it, they're eating fish every day, and maybe on top of that they're not drinking enough water, and on top of that they're going to bed at midnight every night. There's a recipe for dementia. That's a recipe for Alzheimer's. But for some people, they might react in something like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, Huntington's chorea, multiple sclerosis are all indications of damage to different parts of the nerve cell. So then the question is, well, what's caused the damage? So the Muhammad Ali, the boxer, he also had dementia in his latter years, but I think it was purely just physical damage. You see, our skull was created by God to be a protective armour. Notice with our skeletal system, it is an internal structure causing us to stand upright. But when it comes to the head, it becomes an external structure, protecting the most delicate and yet most important organ in the body, which is headquarters, which is the brain. But around that brain, there are 7 layers of fascia. What's fascia? It's balloon-type material, and in between each layer of fascia, there's fluid. So if we do fall, and I had a crash a few nights ago, and yes, I was encouraged to get a CT scan just because it was right at my temple where it's quite thin there. And the CT scan showed that my brain's working very well and there is no damage. So some of my close friends were a little bit concerned. I said, oh, righto. And it showed that there was no damage because there are 7 layers of fascia and there's that fluid around. But if that happened to me every single day, day after day, after week after week, after month after month, after year, then that protective covering would actually start to be the cause of damage. There's a movie / documentary called Concussion. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a true story on football in America. And the leading actor, I think it's Will Smith that plays it, he does a post-mortem on a famous football player that took his life. I think he was in his 60s. He was hearing voices and getting noises in his brain that he couldn't bear it, and he'd gone to test after test after test, but it showed that there was nothing wrong. So coming away and being told there's nothing wrong with you, that's very frustrating. And so what Will Smith, who was a neurologist, did, he opened his brain, but what he did was he spliced up the brain. And when he spliced it up, he started to see all the little scar tissue.
The presence of scar tissue in the brain, particularly from repeated trauma, can severely disrupt normal brain function. In the case of chronic head injuries, like those sustained in contact sports, the damage can accumulate over time, causing a condition known as chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, which is linked to dementia. This is particularly relevant when we consider the long-term effects of repeated concussions or blows to the head as the brain cells suffer from swelling, inflammation, and eventual degeneration. The scar tissue forms as the brain attempts to heal itself, but instead of repairing the damage, it contributes to further disruption of nerve signaling and cognitive function, making the brain more susceptible to diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. Now let's uncover the foods that can help prevent Alzheimer's and promote brain health. The key to preventing cognitive decline lies in the nutrients we consume. A diet rich in antioxidants, healthy fats, and essential vitamins can protect brain cells from damage and support their function over time. For instance, foods high in omega-3 fatty acids, such as fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, are known to be powerful brain protectors. Omega-3s help reduce inflammation in the brain, improve blood flow, and promote the formation of new neural connections, all of which are vital for maintaining cognitive function. In addition to omega-3 fatty acids, a diet high in antioxidants is essential for protecting the brain from oxidative stress, which accelerates aging and can contribute to Alzheimer's. Berries, particularly blueberries, are packed with antioxidants that help combat free radicals and reduce inflammation in the brain. These antioxidants have been shown to improve memory and cognitive function, especially in older adults. Other fruits like strawberries, blackberries and raspberries, as well as vegetables like spinach and kale, are also rich in antioxidants, helping to protect brain cells and reduce the risk of cognitive decline. Leafy green vegetables like spinach, kale and broccoli are also incredibly beneficial for brain health. They are packed with essential nutrients like vitamin K, lutein, folate and beta-carotene, which have been linked to slower cognitive decline. These nutrients support healthy brain function by improving blood circulation to the brain and reducing the risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Additionally, cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower and Brussels sprouts contain compounds that help the body detoxify and support brain health. Nuts and seeds are another important part of a brain-healthy diet. Walnuts in particular are rich in polyphenols and healthy fats that help protect the brain from oxidative stress and inflammation. They also support the production of neurotransmitters, which are crucial for communication between brain cells. Other nuts like almonds and pumpkin seeds are also excellent sources of vitamin E, an essential nutrient that helps protect brain cells from damage. Thank you for watching. I hope you found these tips on preventing Alzheimer's helpful. Remember, small changes in lifestyle can have a big impact on your brain health. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who could benefit. If you have any questions or thoughts, leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Take care of your mind, and I'll see you in the next video.